I've noticed something over the years, and once you notice it, it's hard not to keep seeing it. A lot of YouTube creators eventually stop making the thing they're known for making and start teaching how to make the thing. A gaming channel becomes a channel about growing channels. A fitness creator pivots into coaching, and a commentary channel starts breaking down thumbnails and algorithms. At first, I didn't think much of it. I assumed it was business, courses, consulting, side income. And honestly, that's probably part of it. But the longer I watched this pattern repeat, the more it felt like there was something else going on, something quieter, maybe even something psychological. And I started wondering, what if this isn't just a strategy shift? What if it's a response to what the journey actually does to people? What if, after years of effort and frustration, people don't just want success, they want meaning for what it cost them? And what if this isn't just about YouTube at all? I want to be clear. This isn't a criticism, and it's not praise either. It's just a pattern. YouTube makes it visible because everything happens in public. The grind is public, the wins are public, the pivots are public. And when creators make this shift, the audience reaction is usually mixed. Some people are grateful, some viewers find disappointment, but others still immediately assume it's just a cash grab. But very few people stop and ask why this shift feels so common. And the more I sat with it, the more I realized YouTube isn't the point. It's just the most visible example. Early content creation feels like a lot of early life phases. You're working hard, you're trying to learn the rules, but the rules, they aren't written down. Effort doesn't seem to connect cleanly to results. Feedback is inconsistent. Self doubt fills in the gaps. And even when things start working, something lingers. The confusion doesn't disappear overnight. The uncertainty, it leaves a residue. Most people go through this kind of phase in private, in their careers, in relationships, in their faith, and in creative works. YouTube just compresses it and puts the entire thing on display. And that matters because what happens after this phase is where things get interesting. There's a concept in psychology that helped this make sense for me. And it comes from a researcher named Eric Erickson. It's called generativity versus stagnation. Now, simply put, generativity is the phase where a person starts asking a different question. Not, can I do this? But instead, did this matter beyond me? It's, it's the urge to pass something on, to guide, to help someone else avoid unnecessary pain. When people resolve this phase well, they tend to feel fulfilled, grounded, even useful. When they don't, they feel stagnant. Not like they failed, just an unfinished feeling. Like they did everything that they were supposed to do and still don't quite know what it was for. Teaching becomes one way to answer that. It's a way of saying what I went through meant something. And there's another layer to this that feels even more personal. Psychologists sometimes talk about something called a survivor mission. It's the idea that when someone makes it through a confusing or painful experience, they often feel compelled to help others avoid the same thing, not because they're trying to be an inspiration, but because they remember how disorienting it was when no one explained what was happening to them. A lot of creator education isn't really aimed at an audience, it's aimed at a past self, at the version of you who stayed up late wondering why nothing worked, who assumed everyone else had some secret that you missed, who blamed yourself for systems you didn't understand yet. You can't go back and save that version of yourself, but you can save someone who looks like you did, and that changes how the past feels. Now, this is where I think people misunderstand the shift. They assume it's quitting, right? Or a lot of time, it's not. It's a role change. In stories, heroes don't stay heroes forever. Eventually, they become mentors, not because they failed, but because they understand the terrain. Doing proves capability, teaching signals understanding, and letting go of the doing identity can feel uncomfortable because it's familiar. It's where your validation lived. This happens everywhere. Founders become advisors, athletes become coaches, parents stop doing for their kids and start guiding them. Sometimes feeling stuck isn't failure, it's resisting a role you've outgrown. Now, there is a quiet risk here. Teaching can come from integration, or it can come from avoidance. Some people teach because they've made peace with the journey, but others teach because they don't want to sit with it yet. Audiences usually feel the difference, even if they can't articulate it. The difference isn't success, or that success level. It's whether the experience has been processed or just kind of repackaged. This is where this stops being about YouTube because everyone reaches a moment like this, a point where the effort is done, but the meaning hasn't caught up yet. So, maybe the question isn't why do so many creators stop creating? Maybe it's this: what phase of my life might be ending that I'm still trying to force myself to stay in? Am I actually stuck, or am I in between identities? What knowledge am I undervaluing because it didn't come with applause? Maybe maybe the next step isn't doing more. Maybe it's becoming someone new after survival. Now, if this resonates with you, I'd love to hear where you're noticing this in your own life. Not just creatively, but anywhere you feel that tension between what you've done and what comes next. You can share those thoughts in the comments. If this stirred something you're still sitting with, and if you know someone who's been saying the same thing, I don't know why I feel stuck. I did everything right. Well, this episode might be worth sharing. This channel really is about those in between moments when the old map doesn't quite work anymore, but the new one hasn't drawn itself yet. So, thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you next time.